Hello and welcome to this presentation of BIOTRAILS Work Package 4 on the tools for transformative change. Work Package 4 is developing a range of tools as solutions for consumers, cities, businesses and policymakers, aiming to identify and address leverage points for transformative change in biodiversity conservation. The first task is about the development of a behavioral interventional toolkit for consumers. To better understand how we can encourage biodiversity-friendly actions, wide research has focused on three key behaviors: volunteering for biodiversity conservation organizations, buying local and seasonal food products, and discussing the origin of food within social circles. Our research explored how the feeling of social inclusion as well as the time perspective can influence engagement in these actions. Following wide research provided practical recommendations on how nudging can contribute in the uptake of biodiversity-related behaviors. The next task is about capturing opportunities for cities to reduce their biodiversity impact and is led by the Resilient Cities Network. While this task is developing a framework for cities to assess and reduce their biodiversity impacts based on a three-scope approach. The local scope, which assesses the city's direct impact on nearby ecosystems, the regional scope, which examines the effects on peri-urban and rural areas, and the global scope, which assesses the hidden footprint of urban consumption worldwide. The third task is about including biodiversity aspects in corporate ESG policies and is led by DRAXIS. As part of this task, an ESG biodiversity toolkit is being developed aiming to help businesses integrate biodiversity into their corporate environmental, social, and governance policies, the ESG policies. The ESG toolkit for biodiversity empowers companies to assess and quantify their biodiversity impacts based on widely recognized standards and methodologies. It features built-in biodiversity impact modeling and a user-friendly interactive interface, making sustainability reporting more accessible and actionable. The next task is about a serious game for sustainable production and consumption and is led by DRAXIS. It is actually an online game where players face real-world challenges about sustainability. They take quizzes, solve dilemmas, and make choices that affect virtual ecosystems. But this game is more than just entertainment. It is also a research tool. By analyzing player behavior before and after the game, we gather scientific insights on how education and gamification can drive sustainable consumer habits. Now, the last task of this work package is on the visualization of alternative scenarios and is led by EBOS. Numbers and data can be overwhelming, but what if we could see how different actions impact biodiversity in real time? That's where EBOS comes in to develop interactive dashboards that allow users to explore different sustainability scenarios in product value chains and to use data-driven decision-making to drive real change. These dashboards will be a valuable tool for policymakers designing effective biodiversity policies, as well as for the educational and research community on this subject. So, that's all for this work package of BIOTRAILS. Thank you for joining us on this journey.
Jamendo.com